Facebook. Here we go. Let's do a little Stampin' Wednesday. I got my notes. We're gonna have a cup of tea tonight. Doesn't that sound delicious? I would love to have a cup of tea right now. I think I'll do that. Oh, what is going on with my screen? Holy moly. Holy Mother of Moses. Gotta switch things around, move things out of the way. There we go. There we go. We're going to do a little cup of tea, a little tea boutique. And we're going to play Stampin' Wednesday. Going to move things over, slide them around to get you out of my, well, not you out of my way, but I want to see, hey, Becky. Whew. Okay, girls, I think we're ready now. This is tough sometimes. Here we go. Cup of tea. I thought we're going to make a Christmas card or two using the Tea Boutique Suite. And we're not going to use all the products, but we're going to use some designer series paper. We're going to use the dies and the stamp set. So the designer series paper that we're going to use, because it's busy, it has a lot of bits to it. So let's get started. Let's make some tea Christmas cards. Why not? Tea. Okay, these are in the annual catalog, the stamp set. This whole bundle is on page 12 and 13, so that you can take a look at it. It is, and we're going to say, we're going to use a stamp from our Christmas, from the flurry, Joyful Flurry, because we need to say Happy Christmas, and we're going to use a die from this set. So we got lots of stuff going on. I got lots of ink. We got paper, dies, stamps. I have done some die cutting for us, just in the interest of time, because you don't need to see me die cut. You know what I'm doing. Well, maybe. I question what I'm doing sometimes. We have some cards that we're going to make that have a lot of bits to them tonight. So let's start. Before we go any farther, I'm going to show you our first card. This is we're going to use I can't even talk, a die from the Flurries bundle. But the DSP, the stamps, all from Cup of Tea, and our sentiments come from the Flurries bundle. So here we go. This is going to be our first card. Can we pop it? I want to pop it so that you can see it. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Becky. So we have our card base, which is 11 by 4 1/4, basic white, thick basic white, and we are just going to give it a little score. I have a couple pieces. I'm telling you, I did some die cutting already for us. All of our little bits here. We have a piece of designer series paper. I so wanted to use the gingham side, but I just opted not to. Maybe we will on this card. Die cut a piece of Sweet Sorbet with the third largest deckled die. Another piece of the designer series paper. And I wanted a bunch of the flowers. So I've stamped and die cut one set. We're going to do another one because we need lots of flowers. So let's start. We are going to use Flirty Flamingo to get started with this. We're going to ink up our flower dies. See, we have one set here. And I'm going to just ink them up. I put more ink on my, re-inked my stamps pad so that we had nice sharp ink on here. And we are going to let's do our sentiment. We're going to do our sentiment in shaded. Oh, I want to wash this first. I don't usually wash my dies while we're doing live, but I want to use it again, so I got to wash it. We're going to stamp our sentiment in shaded spruce. So let's get that, and we are going to say, got to find the right stamp. It's the season of magic and wonder. Let's get that done. Hopefully I won't get green ink all over myself, because that's usually how I roll. We'll do our die cutting all in one bit. Oh, that was terrible. I rocked my stamp. Good thing we have magic paper. Pick it right up. Perfect. We need to do a little bit more stamping, and so that we can do some die cutting, we need to stamp our our leaves for our flowers, and we need to stamp our cup. We need to stamp some leaves, and I'm just grabbing some scraps of basic white, and we need to stamp our cup. We're going to do our leaves again with our shaded spruce, bringing out those colors that are on our designer series paper here. And we're just going to come over to one side and stamp that. We may need this. We may need this bit again, so let's wipe the ink off. Sorry, girls. When we use the same stamp set, because I'm obsessed with this set tonight. I don't know why, I just am. We're going to keep our ink out because on the inside of our card, of course, it says, sending you all the best this new year. So this could be Christmas. This could be a New Year's card. But, you know, we're going to grab our sentiment and again our shaded spruce. And whoop, got a little something on there. Don't know what it is. Let's ink that. We have room for our little piece of designer series paper. Ignore me for just making a mess. One last piece, we need to do our cup. And we're going to do our cup in Sweet Sorbet. There are 2 cups in the stamp set. I'm choosing to use the cup that has the lines on it. We're going to use the other. You could use the other cup if you chose to, that has the leaves on it, but I wanted the stripes tonight. I just thought that they were bold, and I wanted a bold cup. So, look at that. Definitely needed ink on my, can you see the difference? Definitely needed to re-ink my stamp pad. Oh, so glad I took the time to do that. All right, let's put this away, and let's bring in our little mini. I'm gonna just take my snips and cut this piece of bit so it fits right on our mini. We'll save that piece of paper. And let's pop it in here. I'm going to try to cut these. I'm going to try to cut more than one thing at a time. I don't promise that I can do that, but I'm going to try. I've got some washi tape, so hopefully we can successfully do this. Oh, that is not going to be successful. It's crooked as the day is long. There we go. That's a 1. Then let's see if we can, no, we're just gonna do one at a time. I don't trust myself. It won't take us long. Because like I said, we did some, definitely did some I did some preparing this afternoon when I was creating to make this happen for us. So we're gonna come back the other way. I get a little piece of black washi tape on here for this time around. Hold that down. Let's come back. Sorry girls, you got my arm in there. My little pink sweater that I got on. It was a little chilly outside today. Definitely rainy here in my house, but you know. And we're gonna, oh, you know what, before we do this, I ain't used Wink of Stella on my others. I want to use Wink of Stella on this. And I want to do it before, because these are so stinking little. I'm going to just wink it up before we die cut them. Only because I'm lazy. And I wanted to make sure that I got them all shiny and pretty. You know, Wink-O-Vision. I've told you before, we need Wink-O-Vision. That's my suggestion for Stampin' Up! Is that they create a Wink-O-Vision. Hey Vicki, how are you? Merry, almost the end of the first full week in December. I can't believe it. Okay, slide this off, these over. We got one more. We need to die cut our Season of Wonder with our angled die. With the angled die from the Frosted Flurry set. Yep, and when you drop things, it doesn't work so good. But I fixed it. Hopefully I don't drop anything else. And then we're going to start putting our layers and our bits together. Okay. Never you fear, our trusty little girl is coming back on another adventure here. There we go. Magic and Wonder. Okay, let's set our bits aside. This is my scrap paper. It's covering up my mess I made over here earlier. Don't want you to have to see all my mess. We'll pop this out. There we go. Set our dies aside for later. There's another one. Got little bits going on here. Our little coffee cup. Ta-ta-da. I now have lots of bits of scraps of basic white. So here's all of our flowers from earlier. Let's put our card together. If you were my card, here's the pieces you'd be. Let's start on the inside of our card first. We have a little piece of, this is about 3/4 of an inch by 4 inches. And I know that it's not going to reach all the way to both sides, but that's all right. I just want to, and I think it's subliminal that I wanted to have the gingham up. So we're going with it because I put my seal on the other side. Okay. And slide some things out of the way here. Gingham, what do you think? Gingham, this one? Gingham or flowers? Gingham or flowers? Can you help me decide? And while you're deciding that, telling me which way to go, I'm going to put our pieces together, our layers together here. Gingham or flowers? There we go. Got my little bits here. Gingham or flowers, girls? And I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'm just going to keep right on trucking while you're helping me decide. I am going to add our leaves to the back of our cup. That's what I'm going to do, our stems. Right to the back of our cup, I'm going to use a little bit of liquid adhesive. And I'm going to gingham, why not? Hey, I agree with you, Becky, why not? What's the worst that can happen? I love how this fits. It matches, it fits perfectly in our cup. I love that. Okay, gingham it is. Becky spoke, she said, why not gingham? So gingham it is. Gingham. Da, da, da. And of course, our next layer needs dimensionals. You know that I love dimensionals. I feel like I can't stop saying that. It's because I don't stop saying it. That's why I feel like I can't, but. So, we tried to bring out some of the colors that are in this card. I used some Flirty Flamingo. You've seen me use some Shaded Spruce. Definitely could use some Daffodil Delight. Whatever you felt as though made those colors pop for you. Let's put our sentiment right on here, right at the top. Kind of right across, if it will fit on our borders. There we go. We are going to add a few more dimensionals to our teacup. I called it a coffee cup, but it's really our teacup because we're making tea. Tea. My favorite tea in the evening is peppermint. What's yours? I love peppermint tea in the evenings. It's just so calm and soothing. All right, I need to move my dimensional up just a skosh and add our teacup. See how it just, I feel like it brings our flowers right in behind. Now, I am going to do this the easy peasy way, and I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive in some spots, just a dot. Oh, that was a big dot. Huh, had an air bubble in it. So I'm just adding some dots, and then I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to pick up some flowers and lay them, just picking them up. Just kind of poking them hard so I can, because my fingers, my arthritic old fingers, they don't always cooperate with what I want to do. So I try to make things easy for myself. And then at the same time, I'm hoping I'm making them a little bit easier for you. So I'm starting with some of the larger flowers that I want to add. And then I'm going to just grab some of the smaller ones. And we can put flowers wherever we'd like. Just kind of popping them on there. And I'm going to do a couple more right here. I want this flower to go this way. These are so adorable. Maybe a couple more. Let's put one here, and here, and here. Just gonna add some till I feel like I have all that I want. There we go. And a couple more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need one more. I can't leave it. I just can't leave it like that. Let's put one more here. I must have an air bubble in there because that's this. Perfect. Got some flowers on there. And we're going to need, I think we need some red and green adhesive back pearls. What girl doesn't like pearls? So let's add some pearls here. I'm gonna pop them right in the middle of our largest flowers here. So what are you thinking about this card, ladies? Does this feel Christmassy to you? I don't think Christmas always has to be red and green. I like this card. And last time I had a flower that was popping out. This time I think we're going to put it right there on that card, on that flower. So there is. Oh, well, thank you for saying you like the contrast in DSP. I like it too. Oh, and you know what else? I wanted to add some of these snowflake dies that are, snowflake stars that are in the Last Chance book, in the mini catalog that's retiring at the end of the month. But I thought a couple of snowflakes. So we're going to add a couple of snowflakes on here just to add a little more blingage. And let's stick one. Listen to me, stick one. Let's add one. You know, let's stick it. Why not? Let's just stick it. It's stuck to my finger. I'm going to put it. I want it to show up. I feel like that won't show up. I'm going to come here. We got some snowflakes on there. That's our first card. I like it much better with the brighter, stronger, bolder Christmas. Okay, whew. Okay, I'm gonna clean up that mess, move things out of the way. We don't need the pearls right now. Gotta have some room. I end up working. Does this happen to any of you? That you end up working in you start with the big area, and as you work, you get creep. And then I end up working in a 12 by 6 area. I mean, literally, this is a piece of paper that I cut in half. So it's 8.5 inches long and 5.5 inches wide. And that's what I end up working in. It's crazy. I got a whole desk here. Okay, this one we're going to do a little softer tone. We're going to emboss our vellum and make this sweet card, which again could be a Christmas card. Imagine if I had done this in Starry Sky. What a great card for Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, whatever's coming up. And the soft seafoam is light enough, I don't have to add an extra piece to the inside. So let's work on that one. Again, I've done some of the die cutting. I did use the Fern 3D embossing folder, and I embossed my vellum. Of course, I do need to take the piece of embossed vellum out of the embossing folder. And I actually have two in here because I wanted to show you that you can emboss more than one piece of vellum at a time. I just stacked two pieces, one on top of the other, and put it through our embossing folder. Oh, thank you, Joyce, for liking the monochrome. I'm not sure if it's monochrome with two colors, but maybe. So we got lots of bits here that I've die cut already. I've lost some of my hearts. Well, I haven't really lost them. Lost my heart, listen to me. I've die cut and winked to the hearts out of basic white. I die cut a flower, 1 teacup out of the soft seafoam green and then did the overlay in soft seafoam for the intricate dye, and we're going to add those together. But for the white dye, I chose not to because we're going to put it on one of the contour dyes, and look, it's white on white. Now we could do one so it had a solid back, but I chose not to do that. But we are going to stamp on here in soft seafoam, and we're going to stamp one little word. We're going to say sweet. And we would do that if I could find my sweet stamp. Here we go. So we just want to put the word sweet, one and down in the corner. You could say Merry Christmas. You could say, now I'm going to send this card with a gift certificate from Dunkin' Donuts to somebody that I know loves to make sweet coffee with their Dunkin' Donuts. They always get triple cream, triple sugar. So this is going to be their sweet card. That's our stamping. That's it, girls. That's our stamping. We're going to get busy and we're going to add some of this together. This is easier to see when we hold it on our darker paper. I'm just going to adhere my vellum with a little bit of seal right in the middle of my vellum, because we're going to cover that with our die cut piece. So we're just going to lay it on, and even though I can see the adhesive right here, you're never going to know that it's there once we add our basic white piece here. Here we go. We're going to lay it right in the middle, just kind of lining up my sides. Whew. Okay, done. We're going to start, we're going to use liquid adhesive again. You could certainly use adhesive sheets. I just wasn't smart enough, you know, sometimes my brain doesn't work all the way, but this adhesive will work fine. For delicate pieces, I definitely think adhesive sheets are the way to go. It gives you a little, just turning your die cuts into a sticker makes it so easy. But hey, we didn't make a sticker tonight because I was foolish. But we're just gonna pop our sweet card on like that, our little die cut. And now let's add our soft seafoam. Whew. One piece to the other so we can have some time to adhere. I love this card. I think the non-traditional cards are so beautiful. Not that the traditional ones are not, but it just makes me happy to do things that are different. Oh, thank you. You like the softness of this card. Me too, Becky. Sometimes I feel like softness is what I need about this time of the year because we've been so busy running around and being crazy. So there we go. There's that piece. Now, we're going to pop that right on our card. But what I'm wondering is, how would you feel if we put some dimensionals underneath it? Would you be okay with that? Because it's just our sweet card. And let's tip this one a little bit. Kind of, I want them to touch, but just barely touch. Oh, but I like that. I get a little dot of, and these basic white pieces, I've done the same thing. I have added a little bit of Wink of Stella, and we are going to add some dimensionals to a couple of them, but I am looking to use some of the mini dimensionals because they'll hide perfectly behind our card, behind a heart. Oh, I got a little dot. I know where this one's going. I have red on my hand. I can tell. So we'll do one heart. Let's do another heart. We got 3 more hearts to do, and I'm going to do it the same way that I did with the little pieces of flowers. I'm adding some adhesive. I'm going to grab my hearts carefully, and I'm just going to pop them on. 1, 2, 1 more. Just flip it over so it's right side up. 3, and where is our Isn't that just, I just love that it's soft and easy. And what I thought, just as I'm sitting here thinking, how would you feel? Do we need a bow? Or no? Bow or no? I think no bow. No bow. I'm gonna say no bow. That's card number 2. And we can certainly add some more wink on our detailed die. Just let that pattern that is on here just shine. I am just drawing quick little lines with our Winkostella just to give it a little more depth. Just like that. Look at that. Winkavision. Beautiful. Beautiful. B-E-A-beautiful. One more card, and this card is going to be our most detailed card for the night. But I want to show you. This is our card. It is our Happy Christmas card. Look at, can you see all the layers? Can you see all the layers that we put in this card? Soft succulent cherry cobbler. And we're going to make this card. Again, I've done some of the work for us already. I used the, I'm going to move these out of the way. I used the Whimsical Woodland 3D embossing folder on the Very Vanilla piece, both pieces of the Very Vanilla that we have on this card. So I've already done that bit for it. You all know how to emboss. You've all seen me do it a million times. So this card is going to be a Very Vanilla card. Again, another color that we can use at Christmas time. I use it all year, but it's definitely works well at Christmas. So we have embossed our piece that is 5 1/4 by 4. I've embossed the piece that's going to go inside of our soft succulent with the same. I've used the same, and this is, I wrote this down so we know, 3 1/4 by 2 fits perfectly right inside of our stitching of this layer. I've done some of our die cutting for us already. I've die cut a couple of leaves. We're gonna cut one more leaf out. I've done one layer of our, and this card we're using Soft Succulent, one layer of our stems. We've got some flowers. We may do some more flowers. We have to do our Happy Christmas, again from the Joyful Flurry. So we have a bit to do that with. We're gonna die cut out our solid colored or solid teacup. So we got work to do, ladies. Let's start maybe with some stamping. Let's start with some stamping. I got a little tea bag. I have a little bow. I used a piece of the rose gold specialty paper on this card because I wanted to add a little more color and a little bit of shine. So let's get started. Let's use Happy Christmas first. Happy Christmas and Cherry Cobbler. Oh, I just found another flower. Happy Christmas. We're gonna see if we can't get this first time through. Happy Christmas. All right, I'm gonna hold my breath. Don't you hold yours. I'll just hold mine. Try not to rock it. Hi, Sharon. Thanks for jumping in here with us tonight. So far, I haven't had two. That's what I get for saying so far. Did you see my halo? On this stamp, see how it's really not. They're done on a machine, and there's an awful lot of stamp up here, which can cause that halo. So we're just gonna try again. It's just a little scrap of paper. I'm gonna try not to have a halo this time. I'm gonna wipe off my stamp with my chamois. See what we can get out of here. Hopefully we've gotten some of that halo. Oh, I just found another flower. Look at us. Nope, don't like that one either. All right, let's try this again. I'm gonna ink it up really well. And then I'm gonna, you know, girls, that's just the way it is. Happens all the time. I don't want you to think that I'm perfect because I'm certainly not. We're gonna try again. I like that one better, and we'll trim it. I like that one better. I can live with that. We need a little Soft Succulent. That is our stamp of choice for this round. And again, we're going to ink up our stems, stamp them. Perfect. Perfect. Let's bring our machine in, our little boss, and let's do a little bit more die cutting. And I'm going to show you a little trick on our card. So I'm going to kind of tuck our pieces that we've already done out of the way. Let's bring our stuff in. We're going to do a little trick on here. I'm going to show you how I did that little piece. So stick with me here. I set my things down on top of my dies. Yeah, and then I had to like unstick my dies on here. So let's see how we do. Let's see how we do. Kind of lining up our dies so we can see them all. so that we can layer. I'm going to just run them through one at a time. I'm so chicken to do more than one thing at a time. I know other people can, but that's just not who I can be. Okay, there's one. Put our die away. I'm not going to save it out. I'm going to put it away. Then let's do our last leaf. We need 3. Things are always better in 3, 5, 7, 9 in odd numbered pieces. It's more pleasing to the eye, according to architectural people and interior designers. I don't make these things up. Okay, there is our third. I always call them fronds. I don't know. That's the word that comes to my mind. Here is our teacup. Teacup. I've already die cut our tea bag that we're going to add because there are 2 tea bags in the set. So when I did one, I did the other. There is our teacup. But we need to do the little bit that is the shininess that's on there. So I'm going to show you what I did. I took my piece of paper. Now, you could just certainly cut a piece here, but this fits perfectly. So I just took the edge of I just did the very top of the die. Just what I thought I wanted. Laid it on there. And then I'm going to cut this. And ran it through because that will fit perfectly with just a little bit. We're going to just have to trim a little bit from the handle. And won't that be perfect? I just think it's going to be perfect. We're just going to snip this little bit right here. And look how this is going to fit perfect on our teacup. Just like that. Like we planned it. Okay. Last but not least, do we want to do more flowers or do you think we have enough? I feel like I found lots of flowers. So maybe we'll start with what we have for flowers. And then if we need to add more, we can. Are you good with that? If we start with what we've got? So that was my big trip for the night, and now I've exhausted it. So there's all of our little bits and pieces. More little bits and pieces. Let's start to put our card together. We're going to start with adding our 3 1/4 by 2 inch embossed piece of Very Vanilla to the inside piece of our scallops. Just like that. We're going to add this to the front of our piece of 5 1/4 by 4 inch. And I'm going to just adhere them together with seal. Just like that. Now, let's add the fun. Let's add the fun. Let's put some dimensionals on this and put it on our card base. And get this bit right out of our way so we can add our layers to the rest of it. Oh, you're welcome, Becky. I love doing these. I love doing these. And if you want the directions or the tutorials for this, ladies, they are all yours with your $20 or more order. I would get happy to share them with you. Of course, I haven't written the tutorials yet. So there's our base. There is our base for our card. We have our Merry Christmas before our Happy Christmas. I'm just gonna listen to me. I'm just gonna cut this right out of this piece of paper. Just like that. I'm just gonna do it. That's my good English for the day. I'm just gonna. And I wonder, do we want to? I feel like no. I feel like no, I don't want to do that. So I'm just gonna snip. And I'm gonna snip. We don't need this to be very big. We just want it to be a little delicate with our bits here. I feel like we're going to use a couple of little, I'm looking to see which side I want to put my, just like that. I think we'll use 3. So we've got our little bits on there. Let's put some pieces together here. You want to make some layers. Let's start with our liquid adhesive again. And I know there's a bubble in here. I can feel it. I can feel it. And I don't want to make a mess. There we go. So we're just going to put a little on, pick it up carefully. And we're going to lay it right on the tippy top of our cup. Just going to wiggle it around. That is one of the advantages to liquid adhesive, is that you can, for a second or two, move things around to get them where you want them. Okay, so let's start now. Remember, we did this before with the other one. We're going to put our first layer on here. And we're going to layer some stems. And they fit on there perfectly, perfectly, perfectly. I'm just holding it to get that to adhere. We're going to add another layer of these. And I want to, I think, come over a little, like so. So we have that layer. And we'll come up like so. So once I've kind of figured out where I want it to be, I'm going to lay everything down and add my adhesive. And then we'll put another layer. Kind of want those to poke out so that we can see. So our cup is getting nice and full. And we have our fronds here. Let's add a frond or two, because I'm frondly in love with these. And we're going to add one that comes maybe over like that. We don't want to come too far over the edge of our cup, but we'll want to add a little. And then add a little more. I can't pick it up. It's because I have liquid adhesive on my fingers. And I want to come maybe down a little bit like so. Again, using our power of 3. So you can say we have 3 fronds and 2 stems. So that's really 5, right? And let's add this one right here. just like that, giving them a good chance to stick. They don't take very long, but they do need to stick. And we're going to cement them. Well, we're not really cementing them, but we're going to keep them in place with adding some dimensionals to give some height and extra security to our card. And I'm going to put a couple more right up here under some fronds. So how many layers do we have on just this part so far? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 layers on our teacup part. Oh, love it. And I want my teacup to hang right down over the edge. Just like that. Perfect teacup. And we're gonna, so I purposely had my fronds come to my, well, what's my left, because I want to add our Happy Christmas on here. Happy Christmas to you. And we're just going to tuck it right under the edge and all the way over. Happy Christmas. We have our tea bag. We're going to pop that on with a dimensional. Because what's a cup of tea without a tea bag? Let's just pop our tea bag on there. See, it's pulling those colors together. Okay, now we got a whole passel of flowers. We get a whole passel of them. Some of them are going to get just some liquid glue. Pop one there. I could do this card 14 times and they are not going to be the same no matter how hard I try. And no matter how hard I try or what I say, I'm not going to get them exactly the same. And it's okay. I'm good with that. Oh, let's put a flower down here. And let's add one more right up over here of the big ones. What do you think? Should I do some more flowers? Should we have more flowers, or are we going to call them good with this? All right. I'm gonna let you call it, but I'm gonna keep adding. So we have one there. Let's put one over here by Happy Christmas. Maybe one over here by our teacup, or by our tea bag. And do we need one more? 3, 6, 8. We need one more. 3, 6, 8. One more. Where are we going to put it? How do you feel about right in here? Like right here. It's just a little guy. And I didn't even pick them up with my Take Your Pick tool. I just used my fingers this time. Okay, we're going to give that just a second to dry. I've already made our bow. You can make it. I made a big bow and then I just pulled it to make it smaller to go on my tea bag. You know, just bringing in the color and the shine. And every tea bag has a string, right? So we're gonna glue dots. Here we have some glue dots. These are leftovers and we're just gonna use a couple of them. I'm gonna tuck one up here and I'm gonna tuck one right up here under the edge of our teacup. Well, I can't get a hold of it. There we go. Take the paper off. And we're going to start by putting our teacup string, our tea bag string, right on the edge of our, like that. And then it's going to come down and attach to our tea bag. Tea bag, kind of like that. And let's trim this off because we don't need extra tea bag string. And we're going to add another adhesive dot right on the top of that. Right on the top. And add our bow. Add our bow. And girls, we are at 7:57. We have, oh, we need to add our dots. We will need to add our dots. I almost forgot. You can't, we gotta have some rhinestones on here for our flowers. We're gonna use the iridescent rhinestones. One of my faves. Do you find when you craft you have things that you use over and over and over again? Because I do. I do. And I just love the way they pull all of the colors. These iridescent rhinestones pull all of the colors together when you're working. And there's 200 of them in this package here. 200. So here we are, girls. 7:58. Here is our Happy Christmas with our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 layers on our card. 8 layers. Yeah, 8 layers on there. What? 8 layers. We have our soft, sweet teacup card. Soft and sweet. How different they look, all using the same suite of products. And then our Season of Magic and Wonder, and we're sending you all the best. Look, so we have 3 different amazing, beautiful cards today, even if I do say so myself. Thanks for being here with me. We'll be back on Sunday for Mystery Stamping. Guess what? The recipe's posted, already done. Girls, I love you. Have a great evening. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.